This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You could win up to $325 your money with a new Pick 8. Sign up with promo code GOLF SGPN. Claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code GOLF SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Make sure to check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as they've got their top 10 fantasy preview series. The QBs and tight ends are already live. Never too early to voice your opinion and your picks for the National Football League. Definitely go over there. Ton of great content from the SGPN network. We are on to the Rocket Mortgage Classic, one of the more bleak and boring events of the PGA Tour season. I'm going to say it, but as other guys maybe have a break, we're balls deep. We're giving you the ugly plays, the winners, the DFS locks. It was a great week at the Travelers in terms of DFS. We had a lot of awesome plays, good fades, bad fades, good plays, bad plays. A lot more good than bad this week. You know, I'll always say when it's a bad week, Max Homa was a terrible call. Tried to get too cute with that. But yeah, overall, it was a solid week. The Tom Kim, I got a little bit of slack for saying I love Tom Kim. I just said, is he 2 times more likely to outperform the guys he was priced around? I mean, no, he wasn't 2 times more likely, but did it happen? Yes. Did you need Tom Kim to cash a lineup? Yes. So the Tom Kim fade obviously didn't work out well, but we had plenty more guys inside the top 5, 10, and 20. Cam Young included, made it a great week. Scotty Scheffler, every single lineup, obviously made it a great week. That was a lineup lock, and he was a great price and at great ownership. He was like 30% when he's like 45% the last few weeks before that. So people hopped off Scotty after one bad week, and I told you guys to fade him at Pinehurst, and we hopped back in on Travelers. It was a much better course fit Travelers than Pinehurst was. So hopefully you cash this week, and let's do it again. I'm going to bring up the DraftKings board right now, talk about each range, give you my thoughts, give you my plays. TK, Cam Young, Min Woo, and Alex Noren round out this 10K range. I just want to scroll to the bottom real quick. See, we got big 5K range. Okay. So yeah, this is a very interesting 10K range. A few decisions to be made. I'm believing that Cameron Young will eat up a ton of chalk. You do that over the weekend, and you're gonna get the chalk. And this is a golf course that the bomber narrative is live. Yeah, I get it. It makes a ton of sense. But you're telling me that we are going to play Cameron Young at bet Cameron Young at a tenth of the ownership, a tenth of the price he was last week at triple the ownership. No, we're not going to jump on Cam Young after 2 good rounds. The last 2.5 months of golf from Cam Young was disgusting, poor. He had 2 very good rounds, and we played him last week at his 7,900 or like 80 something. He was very cheap and very fair last week, and I thought it was a great play because I was in on those total drivers. It worked out well. But now you're getting him after literally 2 good rounds of golf at an immaculate ownership at an immaculate price. He's going to be chalky. Sure, he can have a good week, and I'll eat my words. But I'm 100% fading Cam Young. Then from there, where do we go? Do we go up to Tom Kim playing his 9th event in a row? Do we go down to Min Woo Lee, who's at one of the higher prices he's been in a while? Or do we go to Noren, a guy who's been a DFS gem the first, few months of the PGA Tour season? So Tom Kim has made the cut once here, finished out the top 10, also missed the cut in his last trip here. This is his 9th week of golf in a row. Min Woo Lee has been playing sparsely and has been good off the tee, okay on the greens, and spotty with the irons, which is good for Min Woo Lee. I think spotty is good. I think because he's generally a bad iron player. If he's showing signs, good week, bad week, that's good for Min Woo's iron trajectory. So I like Min Woo. And then that leaves Alex Noren. Alex Noren was a guy who was just finishing inside the top 20 like it was his job, which it is his job, every single week. And then he was extremely chalky. I believe it was at Colonial where he got very, very chalky. Which week was that? It was the Canadian Open. He was a lock. and he missed the cut. Like I tried to say, why are we playing an Alex Noren at 10K plus at infinite ownership? Yeah, he was playing good golf, but it's Alex fucking Noren. Okay, so Alex Noren had a bad week. He had a mediocre U.S. Open and Memorial, I believe he played too. Memorial finished 222. Not even a fine week, but if you look at the strokes gained, they were definitely mediocre. So you throw out those last 3 weeks, those were fairly good fields outside of Canada, and he didn't play great. But you look before that, he's playing really good golf. So I do think there is a path for some flat lag Noren if people hop off, because they're going to go to the Cam Young. What do they do with Tom Kim, who is at an absolute peak in pricing and just obviously had a really good week and playing his 9th straight event? I do believe, like, I don't think Tom Kim is going to win this week, but I do believe Tom Kim's ceiling is really, or floor is really high. I do think that, I know he's not a bomber. I know the bomber narratives make sense here, but he's going to play out of the fairway. He's going to hit so many greens, and he's great on Donald Ross greens. Like, you win at Wyndham, you could putt well here. So I just see him playing good enough to be either in the optimal lineup or just to finish T7. But what does that get you at 11K as the highest owned golfer in the field? I mean, sorry, highest price golfer in the field. A question you have to ask yourself, and ownership will probably help dictate it coming Wednesday. But early thoughts, I can see myself sprinkling some Minwoo Lee, fading Cam Young, and then Minwoo and Alex are a real question. If we don't get to Tom Kim because the ownership's too high, then we're probably going to play one of Minwoo or Alex. I would say I'm going to go to Minwoo just because I like the Noren flat black. If he's sub 10%, yeah, we're going to do it. But I do like Noren in terms I'm misspeaking today. Minwoo in terms of course fit and risk reward. Like, he might be a little bit less owned than some guys in this range, and he has a massive ceiling. This is a course where his usual game of driver putter can get rewarded. So definitely down for some Minwoo. He'd probably be my favorite play up in this range. Okay, let's go down to the 9K range. We got Akshay Bhatia leading us off at 9.8, down to Big Dick Rick Fowler at 9K flat. So we're looking at this range. We got Akshay off of a great week. We got Pendrith playing some great golf, who's going to be giga chalk. Jaeger, I haven't heard much about him yet. Willie Z off a great round one, and Rick Fowler, defending champion. Definitely some questions and some pointers for every guy in this range. Akshay honestly did not hit the ball tremendously. He drove the ball really well. The irons were so-so, and the irons have been so-so for the last month, which worries me a little bit. But I truthfully love how well Akshay putt. And like, it's crazy how impressive he putt last week. And Travelers and Detroit Golf Club have very similar grass types on the green. So if he's just used to putting putting well last week and carry that momentum into this week, I think Shea can be in for another decent week. Like I say, I don't love Akshay Bhatia in pure birdie fests. And we got to 22 under last week. I didn't think we would get that low. So if I knew that going into the week, I might not have played Akshay. And knowing that we're going to have another pure birdie fest this week, I don't think I love him, but I can be convinced. So I'm kind of middle on Akshay. Next guy, we got Taylor Pendrith. He is a guy who's got great course history. He's number 6 on tour in driving distance, which is huge here. And he's hit his irons really solidly this season. Going to be the chalky guy in this 9K range for sure. And if you know anything about Taylor Pendrith chalk, it's never wants to work ever, I don't think. So we're going to probably take the back seat to Pendy, even though I love him from a make sense standpoint of view and a great betting number. Stefan Jaeger, 9-4. The last time we played some sort of driver putter bomb it golf course, he won in Houston. So with that being said, I love Jaeger. He's got decent course history here as well. Definitely down for Jaeger. And a comp that I'm making is definitely the Mexico Open, a golf course that you just send it off the tee and then make birdies from there. He finished inside the top 3 in Mexico. Willie Z showed some signs of life early on at the Travelers and then finished like right around where he ended up on Thursday. Like I always say, and I got some kickback for saying I said something about Willie Z, like you never want Willie Z in in pure birdie fest, 20 underscores. And someone said to me, yeah, everything you're saying is coming, is I should have just faded, or everything you're saying the opposite's happened after Willie Z shot one good round. So I hope you played Willie Z last week and it went well for you, because I don't appreciate that comment. I appreciate every comment, but that was just like tried to dick on me for saying that I didn't like Willie Z in Birdie Fest, and he finished not well. So okay, it was after Thursday someone said something. Next play, where Ricky Fowler. I don't know how you can go to Ricky Fowler. I really don't. Like, he won this event last year, but he's just been so mediocre this season, and the putter's been bad. This is an event where you're gonna have to make putts, make birdies, and I just don't trust that. This range is definitely interesting. I think my favorite play by far is Stefan Jaeger, followed by Akshay Bhatia, rolling some momentum from last week. Pendrith might get out of hand. Pendrith makes sense, though. Let's move on to the 8K range before we move on to the 8K range. Real quick, Underdog Fantasy. The pick 8 is now live. Create entries with up to 8 picks, and Underdog will automatically double flex it, so you can miss up to 2 picks and still win money. With more picks, there's extra ways to win. The excitement is higher than ever. Best part, you can win up to 325 your original amount. You can now use specials and boost on all flex entries. I'm going to be making some pick 8s. I'm going to be making some Underdog slips. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and you see all the articles I'm writing. It's Wednesday night through Saturday night. I'll give out 2 picks a day. So promo code golf SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. I think the last 2 weeks we've gone 12 for 16 with Underdog picks. So Underdog's hot right now. Definitely check those out. Definitely tail. 8K range. Let me fix my screen and get this 8K range up to, where are we? 8K range, 8,900 Maverick down to 8K flat. Michael Thorbjornsen, definitely interesting price. Top of this 8K range, I really like Aaron Rai. And Aaron Rai's a golfer that not many people want in Birdie Fest. You want Aaron Rai in more difficult conditions, long irons. He's not the longest driver on tour. He's a very accurate driver. But what he's done the last, 2 months of golf has been very impressive, putting on an absolute ball striking clinic. And he's found some things with his putter in the past. And if everyone's going to Maverick McNeely in this top range, I'm gonna go to Aaron Rai. Like, Aaron Rai, I don't think he has the putter to win this event. I really don't. But at half the ownership of what's his name, Maverick McNeely, he's finished once here. I mean, he's at top 10 here in his only trip. I think he's gonna go under the radar. Truthfully, Maverick McNeely, he's playing good golf. He's tough to eat at this price, and I mean the DFS price is all right, which makes him chalky in my opinion. But he's the driver putter guy, and he's found the irons in the last few weeks of the season. I don't hate Maverick McNeely at all. Where is Keith Mitchell, by the way? He was literally on the middle of my screen, and I just missed him. Oh, he's in the 8K range, in the middle of my screen, and I just missed him. He's right here. Okay, Bob Mack. I want to like Bob Mack because I'm making the Myrtle Beach comp. I'm thinking that Myrtle Beach guy sent it off the tee, and then they made birdies, and he played really well in Myrtle Beach. But I don't love when Bob Mack is a little bit chalky or high priced, because he just gets at hand and doesn't work. Gonna have to come back on that Bob Mack take. Okay, Kellogg's in the chat. Considering Taylor Moore in 18.72, we have to see about the Michigan voting census the next few months, because Taylor Moore, course history guy, he's finished T6 or better in 2 trips here. Fucks at Wyndham, obviously North Carolina, Donald Ross greens. But Taylor Moore, I think I've been hitting his iron shots recently. Actually, I'm not even going to say that, because my iron game has been pretty legit the last month. Taylor Moore has forgot how to hit his irons. I think his last start at Travelers, he's lost like 7 strokes on approach. I think the worst approach week he had was at Bay Hill, where he lost 9. But he's been bad on approach. But last year, when he finished 4th in this event, he came in horrible form as well. So I could be convinced of, what is his name, Taylor Moore, if the ownership is right, and the price is right, 75. I like that. 18.7% of your lineups. I think you can go higher, double that, 36% of your lineups. Rest of this 8K range, what are we working with? Why does my screen keep changing when I search so much names? Rest of this 8K range. Davis Thompson, probably my favorite play in the entire field. A young Davis Thompson was once the first round leader here. I think in 2021, shot 9 under on Thursday, and everyone was like, "Who the hell is this kid?" And then he didn't do great after that. But Davis Thompson has gained a ton of distance in 2024, and he's been just playing really good golf. He's got 3 top 20s in his last 5 or 6 starts, posted his best finish in a major last start at the U.S. Open from Pinehurst, finished T9, and he finished runner-up at Myrtle Beach, which is a comp. The comps I'm making are Myrtle Beach and Fortinet, Napa Valley. Those 2 courses and Mexico, obviously. Those 3 courses, Mexico, Myrtle, and Napa Valley, Fortinet comps. Look at those leaderboards. You will find success if you do that. So Davey T, I really like down there. Ryan Fox, Chris Kirk, Michael Thorbjornsen. I don't think anyone's going to play Chris Kirk, which is interesting because Chris Kirk has a high ceiling, especially in weak fields, but he's lost on approach in 4 straight starts, which is not ideal for a guy like Chris Kirk who lives and dies with the irons. But yeah, I don't love Chris Kirk. Ryan Fox makes a ton of sense. A guy who's going to send it off the tee and then just go make birdies. Should be a popular pick. Should be a somewhat chalky guy in this bottom of this 8K range, but I don't think he'll get out of hand. I do like Ryan Fox. And then Thorbjornsen, I'm definitely interested to see how he plays and what the public does with his ownership and just him as a whole this week, because more times than not, we see these young studs just not come out and win, but come out and perform better than expected. Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting much from Thorbjornsen at the Travelers Championship on a golf course that is what can find his driver and was an elite field. Now he gets to rip driver. I can see him leading the field off the tee, leading the field in driving distance, and then go make birdies from there. We don't really know what the putter is going to bring, but Thorbjornsen, I can definitely be convinced, or I don't even know if I can be convinced. I just want more monitor the situation. So favorite plays in this range: Aaron Rai, Davis Thompson for sure. 7K range: Benny Griffiths down to Eric Cole. Remember when Eric Cole was like 10K? Ben Griffin, a guy that you want on shorter Bermuda tracks. I don't really love him here, but he's playing all right golf the last few weeks. EVR, a guy who fucks in Mexico. EVR, a guy who fucks in weak fields. Definitely down. Homeless Hubs, a guy who's made a hole in one here before. Was in the final group or one of the final groups on the weekend the year that Cam Davis won, and I think he kind of ejected on Sunday. Adam Svensson playing some really, really good golf right now. Finishes at the top 15 of the Travelers, I believe. And he gained across the board. If you can gain on those putting greens at the Travelers, I think you can gain on them here. He doesn't fit the bomber narrative at all, but I like his play. Now, this range from P-Raj down to Nikolai, I really, really like. P-Raj, a golfer who has played well in Napa Valley. He's a California guy, and he's a golfer who's gained distance here. Only like P-Raj in weak fields. I'm sorry, I should have my screen pulled up, but I'm just going down the ranges, so it doesn't really matter. And then Nikolai, I love Nikolai's T50, I believe, at the U.S. Open is gonna go overlooked. He was in the top 10 the entire week, top 15 the entire week. Poor finish, but Nikolai's a guy who will send it off the tee and make birdies. Remember his price at the Mexico Open? He was one of the top 2 guys on the odds boards. We get a very similar style of golf, and he's a fraction of the price. Nikolai could be every single lineup. Nick Dunlap, I love in a birdie fest, but I do a little bit worry about the nuance of the Donald Ross greens. That could definitely get Nick Dunlap into some trouble. Cam Davis, not the best form, but this is a course you kind of want to run Cam Davis at. Obviously, he's won here. Bottom of the 7K range, Sam Stevens, a guy who's in the top 15 of driving distance on the tour, and he's played well in his last 2 starts. Could definitely make some noise. Daniel Berger has gained strokes ball striking infinitely recently, but I don't really trust the putter. Kevin Yu, extremely long off the tee, extremely accurate with his irons, will get eviscerated by these greens. So my favorite play in the 7K range, who do I like? I like this P-Raj to Højgaard range for sure. Okay, 6K range. Luke Clanton at 7K is an absurd price. Do not play that, but I do like Luke Clanton. 6K range, obviously, I have my 6K show coming later this week, so I'm not going to dive deep in this range too far, but I will scroll down and give you some names that catch my eye who I think could play well. But before we do that, I need to tell you finally about Rhythm. If you plan on watching the Rocket this weekend, you need to download Rhythm. Their golf feature makes it easier than ever to find the best betting opportunities for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Users can create custom betting models and instantly see bet recs for outrights, T5s, T10s, and T20s. Bet recommendations in a menu-like format, making it easy to see where your models agree, helping you feel confident in your betting decisions. Rhythm also features an AI caddy, which gives bettors a chance to see every single golfer in the field's simulated performance thanks to the powerful AI algorithm. You can use this to find huge plus money betting opportunities throughout every tournament. Ultimate betting and DFS companion. Download now and start a free 7-day trial and bet smarter on the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, 6K range. Guys that catch my eye. $6,700, Chris Gotterup and Andrew Novak. I like Gotterup on a few courses. This is surely one of them. Course where you could just absolutely rip driver off the tee, send it, and go make birdies from there. Andrew Novak has played well here before and is coming off of his best ball striking week of his career, but he's putted this event horrifically. So that's a concern. Right below them, Alejandro Tosti. This is his dream golf course, can hit the driver wherever the hell he wants to and then go from there. Jake Knapp at $6,400 makes no sense. His recent bad form is because he's played in really freaking good fields. The last time he's played in poor fields was the Byron, and he played well. In Mexico, he won, which is like a direct comp. Drive it anywhere, go make birdies. Love Jake Knapp at this price. Hopefully he goes under the radar because I like his betting number too. Down here, Cam Champ has 3 weeks of the year that you could play him. This is definitely one of them. 5K bullets, Sami Valimaki, 5,900, coming off of his best ball striking performance since he finished runner-up at the Mexico Open. Direct comp. You want Sami Valimaki in a birdie fest. You want Sami Valimaki when he could rip driver. And you don't need any form from Sami Valimaki, but he has shown something recently. Anyone else down here that I can throw out? Carl Ewan, I think, is a very high risk, but rewarding. He could be very rewarding. He finished T14 last year. He's in the top percentile on tour in driving distance. Incoming form is not great, but he could definitely pop at random. No one else down. I mean, you really want a dumpster one? I don't hate Hayden Buckley. Hayden Buckley at $5,400. He's gained off the tee in 4 straight events, which is his DNA. That is what he does better. He's more of an accurate driver than a long hitter, but he's finished T24 here in his only trip. So that's the DFS preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, you guys know where to find me. Ton of content coming this week. 6K plays, golf bets, final thoughts Wednesday, and then the bets will be out on Wednesday afternoon over on my Twitter at Jersey Betting. You guys know where to find my content. Questions, reach out to me. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.